Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Entrepreneur Rescue Mission. This is a podcast from our company, The Time to Grow. This is Scott and Nancy Aaron, and we are really excited about today's episode. Obviously, we have started the week of our private workshop, the 5-day LinkedIn client journey workshop. So teaching people how to really turn those connections into ideal clients, grow your email list, client acquisition, and all that stuff. But what I want to really talk about today, outside of our workshop, is the concept of going from hustle to authority. Now, what I will say is that this word hustle has been, I would say, a buzzword for a number of years now. But what Nancy and I have been really doing now in our fifth year of our group coaching mastermind expert authority is really teaching people the simplistic way of going from the growth stage to the scale stage of your business. And it's important to understand the key concepts of how to build a scalable business that doesn't work for everyone, but it works for you. And everyone, business is the same nuances, the foundational key aspects, but you want to build a business that not only feels good, but it's scalable. So if you do want to end up selling it, or you want to bring in partnerships, or whatever the case may be, we want you to enjoy that process. So there's a couple key things that we want to go over today. And obviously, it's the power, number one, of being known in your space, the benefits of having specific support. Scaling is about the certain types of implementation you need, but also um, really what can happen to your business over the next 12 months, openly and honestly, with obviously some of the help, tutelage, and things that Nancy and I can do for and with you. What's wrong with tutelage?
Just tutelage. It's a funny word.
But it's a real word.
Yeah.
It's
Tutelage. Yeah.
tutelage. So Nance, let's kick it off. Let's focus first on scaling your business because it does start with a few specific things, and I know that there's three key things that really go into scaling your business and aligning yourself with that. So talk to the audience a little bit about some of those things that go into that key concept.
Yeah. I mean, I think as we're growing our business and all those things, and especially, right, we're at the top of a new year, right? We just started 2025. Scaling is one of those things where I always like to remind entrepreneurs and people that your business is like this evolution, right? Of like ways that you need to level up, mindset wise, in different strategy, in different, processes that you have in your business, different team. So your business becomes very different looking, right? As you move through those different stages. And the three things that you always need to make sure to stay really honed in on and be clear about, right? Which is something that you should be always, right? In fact, I've got, you can't see it, but I've got my bulletin board over here and I have, right, my vision, right? So it's the overall business vision. Okay. This is what you set out to do, how you want to help people. What is that overall mission and vision that you set for this business? Right. I use the example. In fact, years ago, I worked with a client who had this kind of, they basically came to me. They said, I need a little bit of clarity on, really helping to work with people. They were a therapist and, had some goals. And I really stopped for a second. And one of the best questions, right? And I'm putting this out there to you guys. If you were to really step back and envision, right, 5 years from now, what is that big picture vision that you have for your business? Right. So if we do this, think about it, we could do this every year and really look at that big picture. What is it that you set out to achieve? And even in that conversation with that particular client, they realized they don't want to just be doing, the one-on-one client calls. They actually wanted to start a certification program, which they were master certified to do, and really get groups of people coming in to spread, right, the type of therapy that they were teaching. So great, let's start now, right? Let's make sure that all of our business decisions and our strategy and the processes that we have in place are leading there. Okay. So I want you guys to really hone in. And when it comes to scaling, right, we got to really start with that vision. The second piece, right, in that first little, point there is strategy. We have got to have an action plan to get us there. Okay, Scott and I actually, we just, recently hired, we always say coaches need coaches. We just hired our first coach in a pretty long time, right? We were in that place where, our business has been growing 20% every year. We're moving and grooving, but we just really, right, want to kind of blow the doors off this thing. Well, great. We just need an outside perspective, right? We need someone to come in. I always say you can't see the label from inside the jar, right? I love that saying. I use it all the time because, right, we're in it. So having a strategy and having people, like us, right? We do it in our mastermind program, expert authority, come in and actually give you a strategy of what you need to do to get to that next step and work towards your vision. And then, of course, right, a good old fashioned execution, right? It's getting it done. In fact, one thing, again, transparency for our own business. Every single month, we meet with our COO, Christy, and we go through all of our KPI metrics. And yesterday, we went through, we looked at our sales, we looked at our click through rates, we looked at all of our email open rates. And as we were going through, it was very clear. It just clicked with me. I said, okay, we do these meetings every month. Let's just do the red light, yellow light, green light. Okay. What can we continue doing? What's working well? What can we stop doing? And what do we need to tweak? And let's make sure that we actually assign a person to getting it done. Okay. Because we love to talk all day long about all this strategy and things that we can update and optimize. But if we don't officially assign, right, a person to complete that work and get it done, it's not going to get done. So if that means hiring new team members, guys, this year, if it means maybe adjusting your processes, then that might be what it is. But those three things, right? Again, vision, strategy, and execution are super key. And those are all things that we really teach, in our expert authority mastermind program as well.
So to kind of give you a real life example to kind of bring this all together, one of our mastermind members and friends, Gary, he's been with us since the beginning, uh, almost 5 years now. And Gary was a client of mine a long time ago. He's been an attorney for nearly 45 years. He's owned multiple practices, managed multiple practices, and he was doing some stuff on the side, health and wellness related, outside of his law practice. But what was really kind of burning at him and really bubbling to the surface is that he realized that there's a certain mindset shift that a lawyer needs to make in order to really enjoy what they're doing and create harmonious balance in their life and their business. And he realized that there were a lot of things that he did personally that helped him create the success that he did as an attorney. So when he came into our group program, we sat down with him on his first strategy session. And this is going back now 4 years ago. And he was, again, he came into this successful already. He had sustainable revenue from his law practice, but he was looking to kind of build something. And what really came to be was the fact that he wanted to start serving the law profession in a more meaningful way. He wanted to start coaching other lawyers that were struggling the way that he was years prior. And what he did, and, yeah, and Nancy grabbed something, but
I'm gonna plug his book.
he ended up writing a book called Breaking Free, and he's got a wonderful podcast called The Free Lawyer. You can find it on iTunes and Spotify. And we helped him write his book. We helped him launch his podcast, and it's all based on this concept. And part of what we're teaching this week in our LinkedIn workshop is the power of LinkedIn live events, which he has been doing for the last 2.5 years, every single month. And it's how he's now filled up his calendar with one-to-one clients. So the progression that he's made in just the last few years, he went from concept to then put all the pieces together, and in year two started our LinkedIn process and started picking up clients. Year three, he actually doubled his revenue from the year before. And this past year, he actually 5x'd his business from the year prior. He now has a best-selling book. He has a top-rated podcast. He has a successful coaching practice, and he's now even launching his own course. So it doesn't take much. And yeah, we kind of spoke about a lot of those things, but because he got that personal attention. And if he was on here with us right now, he always says this. He goes, "You guys saw something in me that I couldn't see." He goes, "You guys made the suggestion to start coaching other lawyers. I couldn't see that. You guys suggested to get my voice out there and start a podcast, which I didn't conceptually see how I can do it, but you showed me how to do it and I love it." And he's got almost 300 episodes now. He said, "You recommended to write a book to really cement myself as the expert in the space that I'm in." And I'm like, "How am I going to do that?" And you taught me exactly how I did it to do it, and I became a number one best-selling author on Amazon. He would tell you right now that it was because of the vision that we had for him that he couldn't see, because Nancy always talks about you can't see the label from inside the jar, right? Nancy and I are so good at taking a look at anyone's business from that 10,000-foot view, and we can see the holes and the gaps that are there. And obviously we can give you the coaching, we can give you the accountability, but also most importantly, it's the action that needs to be taken to create that aspect of what you want in your business. And I think that's really what makes us different. You know, Expert Authority, we created this program because it was everything that we wanted for ourselves. Nancy and I have been a part of some huge, huge high level masterminds. I mean, big time. And what I can share with you is this kind of led us down this rabbit hole of figuring out, how do we want our business to look where we can then teach others how to do the same thing. And that basically became the fruits of our labor, which is our book right here called The Feel Good Business Model, how we've grown and scaled our business together over the last 7 years. But I would say most notably in the past five, working together with our group coaching program, Expert Authority. And what we found was, because this is such a unique program, because you work directly with myself and Nancy, we do weekly group coaching calls. You get quarterly one-on-one strategy sessions with us. You have all the trainings that you need in the world, the real action steps that need to be taken. Nancy and I, our number one care and concern is getting each person the results that they want. It is not about just taking someone's money and having them a part of our program, but we do want to be very straightforward with people. Nancy and I talk about something called the 51-49 rule. When you come into our program, you have to want it 51% for yourself, and we have to want it 49% for you. If those numbers are skewed and reversed, it's not going to work. So if you're that person that is looking for accountability, you're looking for action steps, you're looking for that clear strategy of how to really become the authority in your space, leveraging all the different facets of LinkedIn, having a well-oiled machine, and loving what you're doing while you're doing it, then our Expert Authority Group program is for you. Nance, anything you wanted to add on top?
Yeah, I just want to hone in, like, there's so many programs out there and, with AI and all kinds of stuff, right? People are like, well, why would I still need a coach, or why would I, even want to, sign up for a program or have, uh, okay. Right. There is so much stuff out there, right? Knowledge and the amount of knowledge and access to knowledge, right, has definitely not been a problem, right, in the last year or 2 years, right? Anything that you want to learn is out there. I think the struggle that most people struggle with is the lack of community, right? The lack of others, the support, the accountability, right? I think a lot of us know what we need to do. At the heart of it, right? I always teach business very simple, right? There's core functions of a business. There's basic things that we need to do within the business, and there's, we need to be consistently generating revenue. But the thing is having that community, having that support, like Scott says, we made this program unlike anyone else's. Guys, we do a mindset call every Monday just to kick the week off. We do a book club call. We don't want to see less of people. We love to see our people, on our group calls, because we want to be your biggest cheerleaders. We want to help you continue to, push through those mindset blocks. We want to help you with that community and that support. We want to be there to answer those little questions that might cause hiccups in your journey. We want to be there, if you need a strategy and a game plan, right? A step-by-step action plan. No other coach or consultant that Scott and I have ever met have the love and care and attention, and honestly, like, the stuff that we have. We have put together a powerhouse of a program. And like I said before, LinkedIn is at the foundation of all of it. Why? Because it's the best place to set yourself apart as an expert, to generate consistent leads, to have real conversations, and everything around that, right, is just those processes. And obviously, as you scale, right, the people and the additional things that you continue to grow out. So again, as Scott mentioned, it's all in our mastermind. We are, in fact, we're doing our workshop this week. We do open the door. In fact, we barely, rarely actually open the doors to our mastermind. It's very close knit, it's very exclusive, but the doors will be open on Thursday and they will close the following Monday. So please make sure if you guys are interested in, joining a mastermind, you have more questions, feel free to go to thetimetogrowth.com, click on our Expert Authority Mastermind program. At the very bottom, you'll see there's an application, right? You can complete. Again, if you're a great fit, we are super excited to talk to you, learn more about your goals, decide if this is a good fit because, if it's not the right fit, we'll make sure to let you know. But if it is the right fit and you're going to just be a slam dunk for the program, we know we can help you. We'll go ahead and continue and we'll have a whole year together to work together. So anyway, again, that's Expert Authority. You just go to thetimetogrowth.com and you'll find it. And also, book a call with us, right? We love to jump on calls with people and connect. And, we'd love to learn more about you and your business and your goals. And we know that this year is going to be a very powerful year. So if you have not signed up for something, we always tell our people we are literally the one-stop shop. If you need to grow sales, you want to continue to build out your business, we got you. Okay. We also stay super up to date on all things AI tech. We keep you up to date on all the latest trends and updates in the marketing and the digital content space. But it's just an amazing program. And we've just had so many amazing people in it. So that's all I have, Scott.
Yeah, and it's very small. It's
Yep.
only 10 people at a time, so we do like spots do fill up very fast. We have people that actually pre-sign up. So obviously you can wait until the doors open on Thursday, but as Nancy said in the description of this episode, there's going to be a direct link to schedule a call on our calendar. There is a form that needs to be filled out just so we learn a little bit more about your business, where you are financially, where you're looking to go financially, and how committed you are. And we would love to talk to you. So we hope you found today's episode helpful. Love and gratitude, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye bye.